What is Terry Boboless? Both dressed in black. I'm not sure if that's a show or no. I think it's Orange is the New Black. Never saw it. But yeah, for a new show.
Yeah, yeah, big week. It was a rainy Saturday. Rained pretty hard on Sunday too, but I think Laval and Brossard were done by then. I know Laval was done by then, that's for sure. Hopefully Brossard was also done. Big week ahead. NFL season kicking off this Thursday. Got a game on Thursday, a game on Friday,
Yeah,
a bunch of games on Sunday. Uh, Hope everyone drafted well for their fantasy or is drafting maybe tonight, as this is posted on Wednesday. By now, you would probably seen in the MFL players. We're doing an MFL Pick'em and an MFL Survivor. Very simple Survivor. Every week, you pick one team that you think is going to win. You cannot pick the same team twice during the course of the season. If that team wins, you survived. If the team loses, you're out. And it's basically the last person standing at the end, right? For the pick'em, every single week you got to pick the winner for every single game, and at the end of the season, the person with the most correct picks is the winner. And this year we'll be offering half a season off of MFL football for each winner.
damn,
You,
that sounds
you
blessed.
can do them both.
Yeah, looks like I'm gonna get in total a full season off.
Yeah, yeah, you really that confident?
Let's go.
We should do a little something for the media team. Because I don't think we're gonna do our picks this year or our survivor like last year. So whoever finishes at the top of those standings gets something for in the MFL media crew.
That's a good call. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was really wet. I think your football died, or it's like yes.
It was like at this point it was like throwing a bar of soap.
Yeah, I'd say maybe give it to Mike Jazz, see what he could do about it. Because if anyone could fix it, it's that man.
Yeah.
He came up clutch with his tent, at Terrier.
Mhm.
That was clutch.
Yeah, we had like 12 of us huddled in that little tent.
You like that, eh?
Yeah, it was cozy.
Anything else? Spoke about the pickup, spoke about the Survivor. We got a lot of games this upcoming weekend. I think we got 30 games on Saturday. We got another six on Sunday in Brossard, four in Laval. So we got, I think, a total of 40 MFL games this weekend. I think it's a record.
Any in not LeBaire this weekend, eh?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we get right to it.
You start D1 or a D5?
Uh, let's go with, what do you want to do?
Let's go D5 first. Switch it up.
All right, let's go D5. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, perfect.
So for Division 5, um, yeah. Oh yeah, I saw a few of these games. Well, first of all, we had a few interesting ones, right? As Big Booties hadn't played yet. Taking two big L's. We could take a look at these games quickly. Did you see any of these games?
Literally none.
Okay. Well, we know Jungle Squad have been a good team, a bit up and down, but with Goldrick at the quarterback position and part of this team, they can be dangerous, right? Like just having that additional structure, leadership, and football knowledge. I'd say like Goldrick, especially for Division 5, is probably the one player in that division that has the most, like obviously excluding Max, but like kind of like true Division 5 players. Like you'd be lucky to have him on your team, even more so quarterbacking your team, right? Um, and winning this game 26-0 looks like he won it pretty convincingly. Jorge struggling here, just over 100 yards, three picks. Look, I didn't see any of this game. Uh, I saw a few passes from this game. It was raining. It wasn't pretty. Like a few passes that like were trying to get thrown away that stayed in the field to play. Look, Titans got the dub. They're currently sitting at are they undefeated now? Yeah. Oh no, sorry, one loss. They're 3-1 at top of the standings. I think it's a similar spot where they were last year before they started sucking and losing like all their games in the second half of the season, right?
True. Well, look, this is this is the Titan team I was expecting. I don't want to jinx it just yet because, like you said, I think they started off pretty hot last year. But defensively, like super impressive, right? 4 games, only giving up 41 points. It's like what 10 points a game on defense.
Yeah, and in a quarter.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I didn't see much of these games, but tough start for Big Booties. Who are they facing off this upcoming weekend? They got Bearhood, so it's a very winnable game for them. Look, Bearhood got Dave Cesar, who's starting out a quarterback for them as well. Uh, Maybe one of the rare matchups where Jorge does have more experience at quarterback position than them. Um, Look, it's hard to imagine um, Big Booties having like a rough season with the roster they have, right? Like, let's go through the players. Obviously, they have Max and Kayla, like they're top two. But
Mhm.
look, Charles probably the tallest player in MFL history. Uh, when he's rushing you, he's taking away those lanes. Like they got Barbara, Leanne, Tracy. I saw Tracy actually. No, that was in the women's. I saw Tracy score a touchdown. Emma scored a touchdown this past Saturday for Big Booties. But it starts with the quarterback play, right? Like that's not. There's no way disguising it. If your quarterbacks with 2 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, you're not going to win many games, right?
Yeah, I spoke to Jorge after the game, and he was saying it was rough. I'm pretty sure his part of his hand is still hurting him. I'm not sure if it's his thumb, but he's
Yeah.
recovering
I
from
also saw that like orange thing on him, like I think it's called rust. It was a bunch of that.
a little bit of that too. But no,
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
not.
this he didn't play in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Jorge hasn't thrown since like over a month now, right? Like we had that break between the Montreal season and then there was the 3 week playoff. So like, yeah,
Well, that's it for sure. Like, and it's first two. I'm not too worried about this squad either, but you don't want to fall to obviously you don't want to fall to 0 and 2, but you don't want to fall to 0 and 3. It's almost a must win game for them. Because look, not a high percentage of teams make the playoffs, or like eight of the 14. That's just over 50%. And yes, some teams like
yeah,
look 28 and 3 that are just on the outside that I could see them making it. Aspen picking up a big win this weekend, this past weekend. So big booties. I think it's almost a must win when they're playing Bearhood this weekend for them.
yeah. No, I agree. And that game too is a Barrow sitting on 1-1. That's a big game for them too as well, right? Being one game over 500 or one game below 500, right? It's huge. Oh yeah, I saw this game, and it wasn't pretty. Started off pretty slow, surprisingly for Wong Dynasty, even though they scored 44 points. First drive gets intercepted. Second drive they go turnover on downs, and I think they finally score on the third one. Yeah, they finally score on the third one. So it took them over 12 minutes to score over here. They had Thomas subbing in at quarterback for Ryan. Thomas has experience with quarterback, right? But again, I don't think it was raining during that time, but it was definitely wet. Not many players he's thrown to on this team besides probably Tyler, maybe Jacob. Yeah, no, actually with the Mustard Cups, he threw to probably a few more players on this team. But
Hmm.
look, I think Slicks are definitely the favorite coming into this one. Uh, Luca, it was not his fault. All 6 interceptions. Like there were a few that were unfortunate, bouncing off players' hands and whatnot. Um, but he had his fair share of bad throws as well, right? Only completing 9 passes in this game. He only rushed 3 times for 6 yards. We know how like scary he could be with those legs, right? Especially in this division.
Yeah.
David, who I believe is his brother, had a sick pick six late in the game, so not really meaningful, but it was a very, very nice play by David on that. And look, Slicks did keep their spirits up. They're a good team. Clearly, it helped because they bounced back and they won the second. They had the doubleheader. They won the second game. Where is it over here? 27-12 against Pick Sixers, who are getting better. Look, a 15-point game. That's good for Pick Sixers. Like I know there's no moral victories and all that.
Hmm.
But to go back to this game here, Like these teams are much more evenly matched than the score indicates. Like clearly, Wong Dynasty are going to be a good team in this Division Five. Slicks have always been a good team in Division Five, so it'll be interesting to see how this season plays out for the rest of these two teams.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see the final score in this one, the 44-12 and the six picks thrown by Luca. Like it's tough, it's hard to kind of judge teams in that, that weather with the downpour, and it wasn't raining, but it was still wet. It's tough to get a grip of the football. But I've been really impressed with what I've seen from Wong Dynasty, like both sides of the football. I did catch actually a tad bit of the game. I saw Tyler make a nice catch actually. Um, and no, this is a team that right now sitting at, I think they're 3-1. Um, and pretty impressive when you think about it. Like Ryan on the season throwing almost double the picks than touchdowns, but they're still able to find ways to win their football games. And we talked about defense before. Look at them; they give up 6 points in their first game, and then after that they've given a bunch, but then only 7 and 12. So this is another team that defensively is doing a pretty good job of keeping their offense. I guess with a little bit of pressure off, to be honest.
Yeah, you see more than half of his picks came in that one game where he scored 0 points. So not great five picks in the other two games, but definitely more manageable and winnable than six in one game, right?
Totally. Yeah, it's hard to win throwing six picks
Yeah, gotta do some magic there.
for real.
Um, and then this game here, I didn't really see much of it, but I did see that Chrissy balled out, 3 catches for 53 yards, a touchdown. A very new look Phoenix team in Division Five here, right? Um, like a few players that have been playing with Phoenix for a while, but a lot of new players here too. So interesting to see, like, is Chrissy gonna assume that top wide receiver role here? She has played more than one season with Kevin now. Definitely trust her. We got Yannick and Ilias on this team as well. Um, yeah, Kevin not throwing any interceptions.
It's sometimes you gotta keep it simple that way. And we talked which Kevin will we see this year, right? The the Kev that's throwing a lot more interceptions and touchdowns, or the guy that keeps the football safe that we saw from not last season but the previous season, where he really improved at the quarterback position. I think this team is good enough defensively, and with their offensive weapons too. As long as Kevin is just moving the ball down the field, dinking and dunking, they should be able to win like the majority of their games.
Yeah, I agree. Division Four.
Let's go.
Did you see any of these games?
I caught a bit of Witching Hour Binet. It was, but when I left, it was a pretty. I'm sure it was scoreless. There must have been touchdowns happening late, but it was, yeah, a lot of punch early on in this game, just because like that's kind of when it was pouring. But Witching Hour, another huge victory for them.
Yeah. Another big one yet. I didn't see much of this game, so not much to say either there. I did catch a little bit of this one. I actually left my place and I looked at the score, and it was 18 nothing. And then I get to the field and it's halftime, and Hawks are actually up 20 to 18. I was like, what just happened? Our boy Thomas making his quarterback debut here for the Hawks, right? So, it might not be easy as every new quarterback faces some hurdles and challenges, right? But throwing six touchdown passes, only two interceptions in your first game, I think first MFL game ever as a quarterback, is pretty impressive, I gotta say. Maybe got those early jitters out of the way, or maybe it was the arrival of someone named Jonathan Evans that helped out in the huddle. Um, but it's always helpful and useful to have a quarterback with a lot of experience that's thrown a lot of touchdown passes and knows how the game of flag works, right? Um, so that definitely is helping Thomas. I'm assuming because I was not in that huddle. But look, Elliot Book 7 for a buck 9, 4 touchdowns, 4 1 point converts, a 1 2 point convert. And then Antoine Lévesque, 3 for 66, 2 touchdowns. Definitely the 1 2 punch there, right, for Thomas?
That's huge. And like you talked about a quarterback debut. The 19 of 32 is impressive. The six touchdowns to two picks, pretty good. But 243 yards, right? Like almost 13 yards of completion, especially with how what it was Saturday's probably the most impressive part, at least for me. And then we also comes down to a game of converts, right? And he got five of the converts there, all five going to Elliott. Like you said, he saw the end zone a total of nine times,
Yeah,
right? To
he
Elliott.
caught the ball between the pylons 9 times that day.
It's pretty good stats if you ask me.
Yeah, that'd be pretty solid in fantasy, eh? Like for giving points for the conference there, that's pretty solid in fantasy. Uh, yeah, you did something interesting. Like the 243 yards are great, no matter how he got them. But could have been a 1 yard slant to Elliott that slippery, and then couldn't get deflagged and yakking it away, right?
The flags are hard to grab
Yeah,
in the arenas for sure.
yeah. Thomas intercepting Thomas twice in this one.
Battle of the Thomases.
Yeah. And then Hawks also winning their second game. I had no idea they were playing a second game. Um, Pretty impressive stuff by Thomas here. And I didn't see any of this, but this also comes to a shocker to me. Action Squad, after getting demolished by Witching Hour last week, beating Blue Badgers, who we thought would probably be one of the better teams in this division. Wow, Olivier Wattier, 21 to 29. That's a very high completion percentage there, but only one touchdown to show for it. Um, yeah, I guess I'm assuming Yavar's sack was probably like a play where he jumped in and didn't actually like rush. But Sandrine getting 3 total sacks in this one, shutting down Olivier Wattier's legs. That's pretty solid there. Um, yeah. Anything you want to say about this game?
Yeah, no, I was surprised too to see actually, Action Squad obviously solid team that's been playing for a while. I thought, Blue Badgers would come away with the victory in this one. But you look, Michael Hallaby, right? Maybe not super known amongst like the stars of MFL, but he's a guy that's as soon as he entered the league, he's been making plays left and right, and every game he plays, and he keeps getting better. Two
Yeah.
TDs in this game, 65 yards, and was a huge factor in his team winning this game.
No, definitely him and Justin White, along with Shamika, Yavar, Millie. Like this Action Squad team's a good team. Like that's why I was pretty shocked the way they lost last weekend to Slot Machine. So I think I said Witching Hour earlier that they lost to, or maybe I just said that in my head. But yeah, look, lose win. So I guess they lose nothing but D and then they beat Witching Hour. That'd be pretty solid. Uh, Nothing but D, who has not played in a little while now, I believe. I think that's 2 straight weeks with a bye. After that demolishing against Witching Hour, they have a game this Saturday against Sour Peeps. It'll be an interesting one. Who do you got in that game?
That should be a good one. Give me Sour Peeps in a close one. I'm gonna go 19-18 Sour Peeps winning on 1 point convert. Yeah, for that's crazy. Well, talk about a break for 3 weeks off for nothing but D. Curious to see how I'm sure they're gonna come out, firing on all cylinders because they want to avenge that first game loss. But no, I think Sour Peeps come away with a close win.
Yeah, I think I'm going nothing by doing this one. A very low scoring though, 13-6.
Okay, okay.
Division three.
Okay, let's go.
So I didn't see any Division three games besides the one I played in. I don't know why I said yes to Smo, the sub for Drama Club here. It was literally pouring rain, like horrible, horrible. It was not fun. The only fun thing was the team. Like since Smo was not there, it was actually a fun team to be a part of. No one bickering or complaining or any of that stuff. It was fun to play with like everyone that was there, honestly. Um, Finally got to play with Ben Denis. Unfortunately, like it was a bad game by me. Like I can't I hate playing in the rain. Tropic Thunder didn't seem to really affect them as much. We actually took the lead here, 6-0. Then down a point going into half. Couldn't really do much on offense at all in that second half. Like, look, Tropic Thunder for real, man. Like they're a very, very, very solid team. Whether it was Connor, Rob, and now Justin at quarterback. Like this team's for real. I think this was their 13th or 14th straight victory, dating back to Division Four last season. They're on a roll, and they know it, right? Like they know it, they're aware of it, and there's no pity for any other teams, right? They want to go all the way again this year in Division Three, sitting at 3-0. Like I think they're going for that undefeated. If they finish first, they get the bye. Yeah, 12-0 season. Um, I don't know who their first real test gonna be. Let's see what their schedules look like. Well, look, they're playing Arnos, right? Arnos had a tough game against Ducks, from what I heard understood, but Arnos were also on bye the first 2 weeks, right? So it's like we lived that with Thunder Buddies last season. It's really tough when teams are up and running. Ducks only played one game, but still, these guys. We spoke about it last week how Antoine Bissell needed to get more involved in the offense. You see him here, 5 for $108, 2 touchdowns, a 1 point convert. Um, John and Arnold this year have a lot of moving parts, and it's not quite the exact same team that we're used to seeing. So that takes time to gel, right?
for sure. And it's look, it is a new team. But look, with you, I wasn't all that impressed with the way that Iron Wolves played last season. And it's tough. Like Div 3 was competitive, right? We saw like really any team was capable of winning that division. But I want to see them bounce back this season because look, the Iron Wolves, look, team whether D1, D3, I've been playing for a while, but the pieces are a little bit different here. And you see JF, I think is it his first time playing with the
Yeah,
Wolves? I don't remember.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right. Like, give them benefit of the doubt. It was against a good Ducks team, and John was in Timbuktu the last few weeks. So,
Yeah. Yeah, well, he did a good thing, right? Like, no more Chris Hope on the roster. He doesn't want to take no more forfeits. If they were going to get 2 or 3 wins this season, he's sure they'll count, right? So, needed to make an executive decision there. Getting replaced by Josh. We know Josh could probably throw in this division, so no stress there. We're good on that part. Um, but yeah, like a few new names on this team. A few core guys that are not there that are that are playing on CIA Fusion. Interesting to follow that rivalry of when those two teams face off later in the season, right? To see Jason and Connor go up against Arnold's.
maybe see some elbows being thrown in that game.
Yeah, I doubt it. Uh, Big win by Blitzing Bastards over Sourpuss. Sourpuss, new team in the league. We hadn't seen them play before this past weekend. Um, I didn't see them. New team. David Carlos looks to be a baller. 5 for 95, 3 touchdowns. Um, Look, Jesse threw 3 picks, and this team only lost by a touchdown, right? And we were Blitzing Bastards were due for a win with Chris Hope and Christian Pedroza on this team. Look, Sanketh throwing for over 200 yards, just 1 interception, 5 touchdowns. That's gonna win you a lot of ball games, right?
Yeah, it's the 5-to-1 ratio, over 200 yards, especially when your defense is able to get you 3 picks. This can be a good team. Blitzing Ambassadors is a team I'm looking forward to watching. And honestly, for like you said, a new team. Talk about no moral victories in MFL, but like this is stat line going into this game. I think Blitzing Ambassadors probably would have been favored by a little bit more than 7. So I think respectable output by both squads.
Even though they were winless.
I like, but I don't know. I think like they were two. Like, look, their second loss was a 2 point loss against a good Turf Ninjas. Week one, a good CIA Fusion team. No, I think this is a team that's going to fly. Well, shouldn't fly under the radar, but they might.
That ACL looking good by Christian A. Looking at his stats on offense and defense.
Big. How many?
4 picks on defense, 180 yards to 3 games, 4 touchdowns. Hasn't even been a year since his operation, so good on him. Wishing him a continuous good recovery.
Preach.
But it's great to see guys coming back from injuries and continuing to ball out, right? Like obviously it's not Division One, but it won't be a long time from now where he'll be in Division One like he was before. And balling. He was on, wasn't he on Iron Wolves Division One?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you have two like you have Iron Wolves there, two Iron Wolves players there, Div One, and yeah, Pedroza was huge for us with the Iron Wolves.
Yeah,
I like the logo. It's like Arkansas Razorbacks, eh?
yeah, yeah. You see it often. Doesn't your dad have that on his car
Yeah,
sticker?
yeah. Good call. Yeah, he still. I think he took it off because he put a Dolphins logo now. But yeah,
Okay, okay. And big win by Turf Ninjas over CIA Fusion. Turf Ninjas were sitting at 1-1. CIA was undefeated coming into this one. Very low scoring game. Um, but Turf Ninjas getting it done. Look, when you don't throw any picks and the opposing quarterback throws a pick and fewer than 100 yards, there's a good chance you're going to win that game, right?
yeah.
Leo showcasing his offensive skills in this one, 7 for 96, 2 touchdowns, a 1 point convert. That also gets you a lot of fantasy points. Um, but yeah, the division thing's looking good so far. Yeah, even though it's only just 9 teams, we got the 3 teams looking on the outside looking in only have only played 1 game so far. So it doesn't mean anything right now, right?
It's still super early. Like you said, it looks like it could be. Well, it looks like it is Tropic Thunders to lose based off the amount of victories they had in a row. But like Turf Ninja, CI Fusion, Ducks, like I said, Blitzing Bastards, Drama Club 2 with Valley Cat at quarterback. This is going to be another fun Division 3 here.
Yeah. And which game are you most looking forward to this upcoming weekend?
I was looking, there's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the that 131 Iron Wolves, Tropic Thunder. Hopefully by that point, Iron Wolves would have already picked up their first victory there against Sourpuss. Tropic Thunder trying to continue that streak. I maybe smell a bit of an upset special here, and I'm gonna go maybe a little bit bold and say that Iron Wolves pull off the upset and end Tropic Thunder's streak.
That's spicy. That is bold. That is bold.
Yeah, and not bold predictions just yet, but I'm gonna say Iron Wolves pull off. Iron Wolves go 2-0 this weekend.
Oof. Sure, your boy John likes that.
Yeah.
You're not a little biased towards the Iron Wolves, maybe, or is that why you're saying it? Or
No, I have my political hats on
maybe
always.
just for the what political hat? What politics are there in the MFL?
Yes. Good call. Good call.
So where are we at now? Division Two.
Yeah, good stuff.
So we'll start with this one. Respect actually demolished Bins in this one by a score of 42-12. Bins didn't have their quarterback here. They had PO subbing for them. Swoboden was not there. It was actually a scorekeeping error. All the stats are from PO. But did you know what happened here?
Shoot, no, this is breaking news.
Yeah. So Respect unfortunately had an ineligible sub, and they were over the sub cap limit. And due to that, it was an administrative forfeit for them. So looking at the standings now, there's only 2 undefeated teams, 1 winless team. We know that Respect are probably the David in this division, right? Everyone else being the Goliath. Sorry,
The other
Respect
way
are the
around.
Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Goliath. This one, everyone else being David. So this maybe evens out the playing field. That gives the teams some hope. Um, you are playing against everyone once in the division. Forfeits are the lone tiebreaker. I gotta check if it's forfeits or head to head first, but I think it is forfeits first. But I'll put a note, check that out. I mean, it is in the rule book, so if anyone wants to check it out live, you can go ahead and see. Um,
That's huge.
that is huge, right? And it's also very helpful for Bin. We're now sitting at 2-1, right? Thanks instead of 1-2. Uh, so
And yeah, I was gonna say probably more of a bigger win for Ben than a tougher loss for Respect. I think Respect's gonna be okay, but yeah, PO there subbing for Ben. This game wasn't all that pretty. I think that even if PO's not playing in this game and Ben have starting quarterback, this is a Respect team that's very strong. But like you said, that forfeit maybe levels the playing field, and you have Tigres and Double Dippers undefeated, and only two teams, and Tigres had a great game against us.
Yeah, look, yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better of our 1-2 record. Our two losses are against the two undefeated teams, right? So,
True.
man, I was sure we had Tigres this time. The way Remy was rushing Nestor in that first half, Remy getting 4 sacks in this one, it really looked like we had them. Usually he'll throw one up that you could pick off or something, and it just didn't happen in this game here, right? Um, and we were up 12-0 early, and then they double dipped. They scored at the end of the first half. They got the ball to start the second half. They scored again, and then we had a drive tour. We could not score on our half. A bad pick by me, and we lose this game again. Look, it was all positive, but at the end of the day, we gotta get the dub.
Yeah, I'd say we even talked about it. We've kind of felt like we scored more than four TDs, right? And it was some ways the big stop. Our first, I was thinking about it actually while crying in the shower. But the first drive of the game, right when they so we were marching, and then we didn't end up scoring. And I think
Yeah,
that you look at the game as a whole, and you talk about possessions. That was a big one.
that was a good drive.
Yeah, and the entire game bent, but really didn't break. And like you said, Nestor having a really smart game, not even using his legs that much, and yeah, staying clean, no interceptions, and taking the sacks right when stuff wasn't there. But big shout out to Remy and uh, and big shout out to Nestor too. That they pulled the victory. Sorry, even with getting sacked 4 times.
Yeah, this Tigres team's really good. Like they could definitely play Division 1 this season. Like they're probably going to be in Division 1 next spring. Look, do you disagree with that?
No, I think they're either a strong Div 2 team, or yeah, middle of the pack D1 squad.
Like obviously, it won't be the favorites in Division 1, but I definitely think they could hold their own and play for a 500 record in Division 1. And I think they'd be up for the task, right? Like I don't think they have any problem going up to Division 1 next season, and showing the MFL what Mexican football is all about, right? Because so far they've been doing pretty well for themselves and both their teams, right? The men's team and the women's team. We'll talk about them a little later.
But yeah, no, this it's a bunch of ballers, right? Both sides of the ball, guys that have been playing for a while. There's no reason why they can't compete in D1.
Yeah, and then Phoenix beating Rosas here. Surprising. I thought Rosas would be able to win this one. Who did you have as a favorite?
But Ross doing Ross things. The team they winning games they should lose, losing games they should win. Kind of that stuff. But yeah, I definitely did think Rosas was gonna win this game. But JF 3 picks in this game coming up
Yeah,
huge.
huge.
11 catches for Francis, so two MVPs there for Phoenix.
Yeah, forget
That's
about Zach with his 3 sacks, right?
true, true. Yeah, there's a big one by Phoenix because was Phoenix winless?
Not only were they winless, they had given up like 100 points in their first 2 games, right? Like they really got spanked those 2 first games, 51-37 and 53-12, right? So they needed to show some way, shape, or form that they could compete in this division, right? Not the sexiest win, but a win's a win, right?
And with two really tough games coming up, Double Dippers and Tigres, that was you talk about almost a must win. Yeah, you
Seriously.
this could be a 1-4 team right heading into week 6, unfortunately.
I mean, if they could steal one of those 2 wins, that's going to be really impressive.
Yeah, you take a split there. Definitely take a split.
So obviously, besides our 2 games, which game are you looking most forward to in Division 2?
But we got two. Okay, I'm gonna go with. I like that very first one. Nice TD's been 9 o'clock. I think mostly because I think it's two teams in need. Well, I shouldn't say in need of a victory. Ben did get
Well,
the
they
the
still need a win on the field, right?
yeah, that's true. And a nice TD's. need to bounce back from their last game. So I always like looking at teams and how they bounce back. That'll be a good one. Early on, I expect a tight game, a tight, close game. I'm gonna give the edge to Ben. Ben win this one in overtime by 1 point.
What do you got winning average Joe's nice CDs?
I'm gonna go average Joe's.
So you see nice CDs starting 0-4?
Unfortunately, I do.
That's crazy with Andrew on that team. That'd be crazy from the start of 1-4. Nice cities currently, it's after 3 weeks, 11 team division. There's only one winless team, so that's pretty good for the division. Nice cities being that only winless team. If they start at 1-4, it's going to be hard to continue on that quest to be the first team to win twice in Division Two. Remember when we spoke about that during the first episode? That there's never been a repeat winner in Division Two.
True. Yeah, it's you gotta win at least one this weekend.
They have to win two, I think.
Yeah, I guess one and three.
Yeah, if they go 0-4, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's crazy how so like it feels like the season just started and like at
Yeah,
weekend they could almost obviously not mathematically be eliminated, but yeah, it's true 0-4, and then depending what Rossas and rejects and other teams in front of them do.
yeah. All right. Let's get off the Zoom and get back to with Division One.
I
D1. Go back to share my screen. Who's this?
Let's
Got
go.
5 more touchdowns than the second guy in D1. Did you play more games?
How? Yeah, I must have.
Yeah, 1 more game. Still impressive though.
Gotta cut down those picks.
So we had KLB go 1-1. Pocket Rockets unfortunately go 0-2, but they had a good showing in both games. They seriously could have won both games. And I'm not just saying that. Like Pocket Rockets could have been 2-0 and undefeated after this week, right? Obviously horrible start against KLB, but they clawed back and they made a game out of it, right? Where they were down just a single point midway through the second half here. With their additions of Jeremy Thompson O'Reilly and Thomas Côté Parent, both who I believe it's their first time in Division One. Could have been playing Division One for a while now. Definitely helps out that team, right? You see Jeremy led the team in yards. Thomas led the team in catches, right? So it didn't take long for Pio to gel with his new toys.
And think about that. That's with no. We don't really know the timetable of Alexi returning, but like you said, great job implementing two great receivers right away. Three TDs combined in their first game with D1.
Yeah, you could probably add up their stats. That would have been Alexi's stats had he played.
Yeah, fair.
But Simone Duchesne snapping for Jonathan Plot in this one, 10 catches for 65 yards. Look, Plot threw 4 picks and still won this game. That's pretty impressive, right? Ali balling out with 3 interceptions. That's why he ain't allowed to sub in D2 now, right? Um, and Khalil with 3 sacks in this one coming up big. Toma getting another pick, yeah, also getting a pick here. Um, but look, it's something about that KLB team, man. Like they're ready to show D1 what they're all about.
We were like watching some of the game where it looked like KLB had it in the bag, and then Pocket Rockets came storming back, like you said. But good job of KLB to bend, but not break, because they could have let this one slip away.
Yeah. Um, A-Team KLB. Look, I think Blood couldn't stick around for the second game. They had Simon Shan sub filling in. Did a good, respectable job through maybe 1 pick too many. in this one. But I think we're 18 down at one point. Uh, yeah, 18 were down in this one, made it to the first, and then they just came back storming, and that was it for them, right? They ended up taking up to a 16-point lead at some point in this game. We spoke about the new toys for KLB, but sorry for Pocket Rockets, but KLB also got some new toys with Avery and Smolch Shine. Great fill-in that Smolch Shine can even fill in as quarterback, right, for Jonathan Claude over there. I just want to go see the stats here. And Alex Gonzalez, who's been on this team in past seasons, but not really that 10 games played type player, more like five. He's a baller. So it'll be interesting to see if he could play more games with them this season and see where that takes them. And this was a big win for A team, right? I think they were just 1-0. Yeah, so now they're 1-1. They could have dropped to 0-2 if it wasn't for that win. So a big win for them.
Yeah, especially that first game of the season was kind of the shocker against Outlaws, who had a lot of the subs for them in that game. So you don't want to fall to 0-2, especially on D1. Three of the five teams make it. And impressive they were able to put up 47 points in that weather. Good job by Dave.
Yeah. Pocket Rockets, Arnos. This was not a pretty game, but we haven't said this in a long time. But what does Mama always say?
Yeah, good. An ugly win is better than a pretty loss.
Amen.
Amen for reals.
Looking here, I think you threw like back-to-back interceptions, like literally back to back. You threw a yeah,
Yeah,
you threw a pick six to Ali, and then you threw a pick to Alex.
yeah. That was it was ugly.
But you guys battled through, called back, and Arnold did what Arnold does. What does Arnold do, Willie?
It wins, baby.
Uh,
Woo!
yeah. Look, wait, you threw two total pick sixes. Oh yeah, and then there was also the Jeremy touchdown that went off. It was going to be a Manu interception that turned into a Jeremy touchdown. Uh,
Oh,
good for yeah. John balled out in this game. Great ball distribution. John, Chris, and Manu all with at least 7 catches. Um, yeah. Again, Pio really using Jeremy there, right? Like we know that he's a Division 1 talent. Look, it, Pocket Rockets starting 0-2 is tough, right? But they didn't play in the first 2 weeks, and like we said about many teams, it's really hard to come into week 3 against teams who've played 1 or 2 games already and to expect to be like it's still your week 1, it's still your first game, and you got new players on the team. You got to integrate them. You got to like get that chemistry going, and you're playing it against a team that's like up and running, right? So that's not an easy task, but now Pocket Rockets got Outlaws Saturday morning, and then they got A Team, and then they got KLB again. Then Arnold's like, yes, they were close to winning those 2 games against KLB and Arnold's, but we can't be saying every week, oh, they were close to winning it. Oh, they almost won it. They're gonna have to actually be winning games, right? If they want to make the playoffs in Division 1 and make some noise here. And by the time Alexi gets back, gives that team a chance to compete, right? Because you look at those 2 first games, you're like, yeah, this is a Division 1 team. But if they're always losing by a touchdown and they go 0-10, 1-9, it's going to be a tough season. So they actually have to try to get like it's hard to say like what's differentiating that win to a loss to a win, right now for them.
But that you said it perfectly. Like there's no moral victories in the MFL, especially especially not in D1, right? Like when there's only five teams, and you lose a game, you're gonna end up playing the team again. But those tiebreakers end up coming up huge. So like, look, I think this week one for them, they do get a pass. But then yeah, like are they going to be able to beat a team like the Outlaws, a team like 18 that just put up a bunch of points? Can they try and get revenge against KOLB? Like they did have two, like you said, two close games, but they can't afford to start the season 0-4 for example. They're gonna have to find a way to beat Outlaws and or A team.
I completely agree with that. They cannot afford to start the season 8-4, especially in Division 1 when Not surprise, surprise. We know it now. Three teams make the playoffs out of five, right? KLB sitting at 2-1 now. You got Arnold sitting at 2-1, and you got Outlaws and A Team sitting at 1-1 apiece, right? Our past two champions of that division. So it's not an easy task, right? Like there's going to be a good team, probably two, who are not going to make the playoffs in this division.
Yeah, it's always going to be like that. Big weekend coming up.
Yeah, two huge matchups. Yeah, if Ironals win this game, sitting at 3-1, they'll have 18 at 1-2. Regardless of what happens in the Outlaws Pocket Rockets game, you're happy if you're Ironals. If Pocket Rockets win the game and Ironals win the game, then if you're an Iron Wolf, you're ecstatic there. Um,
And let's say eight team wins the game. They go to 2-1. Iron Wolves fall to 2-2. Like that becomes a pretty big game early in the season.
yeah, well, every game matters, right? That was the whole point of one of the main points of having three teams make the playoffs in Division One is that the regular season matters. You can't just play games sloppy here and there, and not really care, and doesn't really matter. And then you win your last two games and you're in, right? Like the whole point is to have a meaningful regular season. And so far, we've seen that with the games that have been played, right?
Big time. I like it. No undefeated teams makes it interesting.
True. Already. Wow. Women's division.
Nice.
We got Majestic Divas showing that they got some D on that team, eh? 6 points against through three games, winning 26-0, 36-0. Maybe they're a little mad at us because last week we said it was a Tigres, maybe Steelers division. Um, but look, two huge wins for them. Can't really say they weren't perfect on both sides of the ball. Kayla really coming into her own here at the quarterback position. Great ball distribution. Seriously, you got a bunch of receivers with a lot of catches and yards. Three different girls with a touchdown here. Um, Angie, Marjolaine, and Kayla also with an interception on defense. Shamiko with a big sack. And then looking at the second game against Dirty Charlotte, an even better performance by them. Shout out to Shamika, three touchdowns on offense. Getting a pick six as well on defense. Wow. So look, Dirty Charlotte didn't complete many passes in this game. They're sitting at 0-2 in a playoff spot, nonetheless, at the moment. Uh, so, what would your advice be to the bottom three right now? Because you see, there's the top three that are winless, the bottom three that are the top three are undefeated, and the bottom three are winless. We know that Majestic Divas, Tigres, and Steelers know what to do, but if you wanna help out Dirty Charlotte, DS Drapeau, and Crazy Bees, what do you tell them, man?
Yeah, I know it's look, we all have a busy schedule, but remember that one time when we were passing by La Bear Field and we saw, a few people we had Podvan and Roxanne, like I just practicing, right? So
Yeah,
so just going through a few
but practice.
yeah, a little practice, it's a little scrimmage against yourself. And like I said, like obviously not everyone has that much time on their hands during the week, but just to kind of get things rolling, just a few plays, see what it works, kind of get even just to get the whole team together, right, and brainstorm what you think works for your team. I think that's important, and other than that, you can probably get a few wins from there because it looks like it's going to be a battle between, like you said, um, those bottom three teams to get that fourth spot.
Yeah. Well, look, that's what I would say. Look, like heads up, there's a lot of positive here because one of those three teams are going to make the playoffs, right? Like at least one of those three teams, Dirty Charlotte, the Asapo Crazy Bees, are going to make the playoffs. So your season's not all lost. And making the playoffs is a big step for any new team starting out, any team that's maybe underachieving or whatever. It's a building block, right? You make the playoffs one season, even if you don't win a playoff game next season, you say, okay, let's build upon that and let's aim to win a playoff game this season, right? So Dirty Charlotte, the Asapo Crazy Bees, yeah, you guys played against Majestic Divas, Tigres, Steelers. It didn't go so great, right? Like you can't really it wasn't much positive in that game. Besides, you had fun. It was nice to play outside in the rain and all that. But think about, like you said, go out with the girls and have a practice. There's in MFL players, there's at least one MFL practice a week, regardless of which team it is. There's probably more, but at least one that's publicized in the MFL players group and it's open to anyone. Just show up there. There's like the MFL community, whether you ask experienced, beginner, intermediate players, everyone's willing to help. Everyone wants to have fun. Everyone wants to play. So focus on what you could control, having fun and learning, right? Like don't hesitate to reach out to Will or I or John or anyone else that you see at the field. Hey, can you help me with like a simple play? Like we're having a hard time completing passes. What's a good play for that? You know, like and those stuff. Like just don't hesitate. Like some of these women's teams have coaches, right? Or like official coaches, and some have unofficial coaches. That's a friend here or a boyfriend or something, just showing up and helping them out. So don't hesitate and look. Like it's going to be a battle for that fourth playoff seed, like you said. So that's going to be fun and exciting because at least one of these teams are do have something to fight and play for, and to look forward to. So, and who knows? Like they've only played 2 or 3 games now. It's a long season, right? When we're going to be talking about these teams in late October, maybe one's going to have improved enough. Maybe one of the top three or a false queen right now, and not really showing us what they really are. So who knows what could happen?
That, and I think you said it well, right? Of those three teams that are winless right now, it's guaranteed one of them is going to make the playoffs, right? So they have that to bank their hat on.
Yeah. Let's quickly go over Brossard.
Yay.
Show a little more excitement. So Iron Chiefs losing 2 games, sitting at 0-3 on the season. We're not going to go through the games itself because anyone could just go read the stats. Like we didn't see anything that happened, so we'll just go overview of the division. Red Knot Skins currently sitting at 3-0. We got three undefeated teams: Spartans and Old School 1-0 apiece. Um, both of them playing their first game this weekend. Old School convincingly scoring 45 points on Iron Chiefs. Looking at the standings right now with very little information, who would you say is the favorite in this Brossard Division One fall season?
I mean, just based off their name and the guys that are playing on this team, right? Red Knot Skins, they're good. They have talent, guys that have played in different leagues, and guys that know this league, inside and out. Spartans, old school, yeah, I think they could definitely give them I could give them a run for their money. But if you give me one team, I'm going Red Knot Skins.
Yeah, I think it's Red Knot Skins and Old School 1A, 1B. Not to say that I wouldn't be surprised if like any team really wins the championship. Like I know that Iron Chiefs are sitting at 0-3, they're your spring champions. Not quite the exact same team, but look, they still put up 31 points in that game against Old School. But I think it's like I could see a Red Knot Skins Old School final. Was the finals that maybe should have been in Division Two. Well, Old School, yeah, Old School coming back down to Division Two last season. Red Skins winning back to back. But that could have been your Division Two final last spring, right? And now we might see it in Division One in the fall.
Teams, get better year in and year on. Like you said, don't count out those two bottom teams, right? Southsiders, Iron Chiefs. I know they've given up quite a few points in their games, but I think this is going to be a race till the end for the four top spots.
Yeah, and look, Southsiders are playing Iron Chiefs this upcoming Sunday, so we'll see what happens there.
There you go.
Brossard Division Two. Les Perchots, who are regarded as a heavy favorite, losing to Furious Not Fast. And Banana Blitz picking up the win against a free agent team, and Impact beating Banana Blitz. So this division looks like it's a little more wide open for everyone here, right? 5-team division, 3 make the playoffs, the one gets the bye to the finals. Um, is it too early to say that it's Furious Not Fast or Brossard D2 favorites?
I think so. Just because Les Perchauds, look, they did beat them, but I just like 105 points in three games. Could have been if Furious Not Fast had their number on the day, but maybe you're looking maybe one A, 1B. But I think like it's going to be a battle between those two teams. Look that to be the final.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think Perchot were missing their quarterback, so to put up 31 points without their starting quarterback could still be very, very good. We'll see what happens there. But good for Banana Blitz getting a. Is it their first? No, they won a few games in the spring. I say their first win. Oh no, they did not. Congratulations, Banana Blitz, your first win in the MFL. Wow. If Jorge could put some
Yeah.
little things there to congratulate them, but good job. Look, already scoring 56 points through 3 games. All of last spring they only had 92 through 10. So great improvement there for Banana Blitz. Like this is good. I know there's not many Montreal teams listening now, but I'm thinking of, or even Laval teams, but I think about teams like the Wonder Dogs we'll talk about in Laval or Pig Sixers in Montreal are having a very, very tough first MFL season ever. Look, Banana Blitz had a very tough first season ever also, going 0-10, only scoring 9 points a game. And right now they're sitting at 1-2, 56 points through 3 games. Look, this is a team that had a lot of fun, regardless of the outcome in the spring. They came back. They're having still a lot of fun, and they're competing a little more, right? Even in that game that they lost to Impact, they put up 25 points, which is more than a quarter of the points they put up through 10 games last season, right? So good for Banana Blitz. Happy for you guys.
That's the two, and look at the plus minus there. 1 and 2 only a minus 7.
Yeah,
Pretty respectable there.
yeah. Let's go to MFL Laval. So we had a few blowouts this past Sunday. Um, Panthers V2 blowing out the Wonder Dogs 44 nothing, who I spoke about. I spoke with a few players in the team. They reached out to me to get some plays. I told them to keep it simple, don't throw that deep ball right down the middle, and a few plays that tend to usually work over here. Northsiders at Terrebonne, after destroying the Wonder Dogs in week one, maybe thought the whole season would be a little bit of a cakewalk coming up against the Gators. And Gators put up 44 points on them. I do think that the Northsiders Terrebonne are a much better team than they showed in this game. Like it's not a 22-point difference over there against the Gators. Jason did play a pretty good game there. Surprising to see Team Sauce score 0 points, high on audibles. Like we know that offense is rolling, and now they added GF Delos on the team. Officially added on the team. I don't know if he's officially going to be present every single game, depending on his schedule. Um, Villains putting up 42 points as well. So a lot of one-sided games, but a lot of things happening in Laval. 6 out of 10 teams make the playoffs here. We got 3 undefeated teams, 3 winless teams, and then 4 teams sitting at 1-1.
Yeah, the Florida, well, so the Gators not looking like the Florida Gators this past weekend who got spanked by the U. So good on them. But yeah, like you said, few teams sitting struggling early on. Wonder Dogs, um, Team Sauce, but like you said, they reached out to you, which is just good. Look, I look at the Bandits. I did ref them a while back in MFL Montreal, and I do like their system, their QB there. So this could be a team maybe that surprises people come the end of the season.
Weren't you supposed to show up this Sunday?
I mean, yes and no.
Well, I thought you confirmed with Matt that you were going to sub for him.
Yeah, I did, but I had I forgot I had a family brunch on Sunday, and I texted him last second.
Oh yeah, wink if it was true or if you lied to him.
Brunch.
Yeah, bro.
No, no, we had a brunch, so yeah, I know
Was it
he was
good?
chill about it, and
Where'd you
yeah,
guys go?
to your spot,
Which spot?
eggs fruity.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised you finished eating by now. Like,
Yeah, yeah, she finally game.
yeah. All right, that's it. Well, let's actually take a quick look at the games this coming Sunday. I think there's only 4 games. Villains High and Audible, that should be a good one. Galactic Fun, Wonder Dogs, maybe not as competitive. Bandits Dynasty is going to be a good one, and then Team Sauce Northsider is also going to be a good one. So, got a good couple of games coming up.
Yeah, see the Bandits Dynasty game of the week.
Yeah, I think that's it for today.
Good
Solid
stuff.
show.
Oh, bold predictions.
Bold predictions. Shall we go back and share the screen?
Yeah, please.
What division you want to do?
I'll go Div 4.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We got a lot of.
Oh, double headers here, eh?
Oh
Well,
yes.
Sour Peeps, Mustard Tigers, Binet, Slot Machine. We got four teams playing 2 games apiece.
Okay, Mustard Tigers, a good squad. We know them obviously for yeah, for a while now. They
Yeah.
got 2 games this weekend, game at 12, game at 4:30. I say in both those games, they end up coming out victorious and they put up 50 plus points in each game.
Poor Binet, man.
Yeah, and this would be more of the high power mustard Tigers.
What division do you want me to do?
Let's go Div 1.
I was gonna do women's, but I'll do both. I'll do one in Div 1 and one in women's.
Okay, okay.
If I say Pocket Rockets beat Outlaws, that's pretty bold in itself, no?
I, I take that.
Okay, let's see in the women's what I got. So it's still gonna be a battle of the top versus the bottom here, with Steelers against Crazy Bees and Tigres against Dirty Chai Latte. We could continue with having only winless and undefeated teams in this division for a little while. It's too bold to say there's going to be an upset there, but let's see now. Okay, Crazy Bees, Dirty Chai Latte both have only scored 6 points on the season. They'll each score 20 this upcoming weekend.
Okay, I like that. We'll give that one to you.
I think that does it now, eh?
I think that wraps yeah, done wraps it up.
All right, well, see you Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. See, hopefully it's not
As
as
wet.
rainy for us. Yeah, as wet. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Enjoy Thursday and Friday NFL. Rep your squad in the comments if you guys want. And yeah, we'll see you Saturday. Be there, be square.
Yeah. See you Saturday.